Good day, everyone. Today I will be discussing to you how to access the Microsoft Excel tutorials for the basic functions of this productivity tool. So first we head to the File tab. Take a tour. In just 10 steps, you'll be up and running with Excel, the world's most popular spreadsheet app. So you have here the different steps, no, from 1 to 10. Okay, so let's start with the step 1. Just need to click this one. Let's go. So in this step, you will be introduced on the arithmetic functionality of Excel. So here are some ways to add up numbers in Excel. First is adding numbers. Okay. So step 1, select the yellow cell under the amounts of fruit. So select this one, for example. Number 2, type the formula equals. So if you are typing in formula, you need to type first the equal sign. So equals sum or SUM, open parenthesis. The cell address, you have D4 to D7. Take note that if there is a colon, that indicates that you will select the cells from D4 to D7. Okay, so this is D4, this one. So if you will click that cell, you have this running broken lines. So this means that you have selected this cell here. Now if you will drag this down, you expanded your selection from D4 to D7. Okay, no need to type the cell address D4 colon D7, just click and drag. Then close parenthesis, then hit enter, and you will get the sum of all the amounts, which is 170. Step 3, here's another way to add using a shortcut key. Select the yellow cell. So again, we select another yellow cell. Then you need to press Alt in your computers or laptops. You just need to press Alt, then equals first, then press enter. Okay, don't have it pressed for a longer period of time. Then simply hit enter. Okay, as simple as that, you have the sum of all the amounts or values. Now step 5, add only the numbers over 50. Select the last yellow cell, type. So you have this formula. What if we want to just add the numbers below 50? So how are we going to do that? In this yellow cell again, so let's try to select the numbers below 50. Okay, so what are we going to type? We have equal sign, sum or SUM, sum if. Okay, that's a function of Excel, no, to somehow add an argument in that particular formula. And then open parenthesis, D11. So D11 is here, this one, 50 is D11. So we just click here, then drag down to D15. Okay, okay, separate that selection with a comma, add comma, then add an open quotation mark with a greater than symbol, then 50. Why greater than 50? It's because our target here is to add only the numbers over 50. Okay, so what numbers are over 50 here? We only have 100, right? So all the rest under 50 or 50 and under. Okay, so add another quotation mark, then close parenthesis, then press enter. So the result is 100 because we only have 100 as a value which is greater than 50. Okay, 40 is not greater than 50, and absolutely 20 not greater than 50. Okay. By the way, you can read some more comprehensive discussion on the sum function below this. So let's proceed with the next step. Okay, this is an autofill function of Excel. So what does this do? Simply, if you have a formula here, okay, this one has a formula equal sign sum C4 to D4, meaning you added 50 plus 50, and this is the result. Okay, 100. So if you want to drag down that formula, simply in step 2, rest your cursor on the lower right corner of the cell until it becomes a cross. So we rest this on the lower right. Okay, as you can see, it changes from this kind of cross to this. Okay, it should be like this. Then click and drag to the cells below. We click, then we drag, and there you go. You copied and pasted the same formula but different target cells. As you can see, this one now is C5 to D5. This one here is C6 to D6, and this one is C7 to D7. So we copied the same formula, but it alters the selection. Okay, because logically you cannot copy the same formula and arrive with the same answer. Nobody would want that. So Excel has already adjusted this functionality for the suitable users. Okay, so what's next? We can also drag or fill right. So how are we going to fill this right? We call this filling right. Now what will happen is we click this one and drag to the right. So the same thing will happen. It will copy and paste the formula, and um, it will add up the values which is above the formula. So all these values will be added up, and the result is 260. Same with this, and until here. Prior to that, we talk about filling down. What is filling down? We drag and fill all the cells down. Okay. This time we drag the cell to the right to fill all the cells to the right direction. So that is all about automatic filling of cells. Another one, what if the data is stuffed in one column? So for instance, you have this email, and usually, like Google, if you register to Gmail, Google will suggest an email address for you based on your name. So for instance, you have Nancy period or dot Smith. So how are we going to somehow split the first name and the last name? So as easy as typing in, say for instance, the first name, okay, and then simply hit Control E, okay. So select this first name first, okay, Control E, okay. So by using the Control E hotkey, you will be able to automatically in fill out those available cells with your first name. And for the last name, the same, Control E, and there you go. Okay, so that's all about the splitting of the data stuff in one column. Okay, next is this is what we call transpose. Why? It's because we will transfer all the uh, data assigned in this row. This is a row. Okay, we want to transpose this into this column here. Okay, so what are we going to do? Simply copy this one, copy this data, then step 2, press Ctrl C on your keyboard. So basically what Ctrl C does is it will copy the data on those particular cells. Then click on the yellow cell, this one, and in your home tab, by the way, this is the home tab. So you have different functionalities in this home tab. Okay. You look for the paste button. So this paste button here, we click paste special. Okay, so you look for paste special. Now if you cannot find paste special here, we can right click. Okay, and this will pop out. You have there the option for paste special. So if you click paste special, pop-up window, another pop-up window, and then just click on transpose. So after selecting transpose, click OK, and there you go. You have the data in organized in this column. Okay, but we have a shortcut key as well, wherein we just need to press Control Alt P, or we paste that in transposed manner. So we just simply press Control Alt V. Okay, so this one again will pop out, and just click on transpose and hit OK. You got your data organized in this column. Okay, next is sort and filter with ease. So as you can see, we need to sort these in an alphabetical order. Okay, so one way to just for example, the list of students, no, one way to easily find the that particular student is to somehow look for his or her name, either first name or last name. But if the organization is like this, not sorted in alphabetical order, still you will find it hard to locate the data for a particular student. So one way is to sort and filter the, the selected cells. So if we will select all these, uh, this one muna. If you will select this one, what are we going to do next is to um, right click, then you will find this sorting function. So let's say from A to Z, but you can anyway sort it from Z to A. Okay, so let's select A to Z. Now there are two options in sorting. Either expand the selection, which means that the selected column will expand to all the data present in this table. Okay, and continue with the current selection is to only sort the selected data. So what are we going to select is this one, expand the selection, because we want that all the data present here Say for instance, meat, this one, this data, this entire row here, it should go along with the sorting. If this meat transfers to this part here, dapat all the rest of the data should be transferred here in this row. After highlighting this section here, anyway, you can highlight all this part here. Let's try this one. We highlight everything inside the table except for the heading. Then right click, sort A to Z, and there you go. Now, if you have noticed, the Excel did not anymore ask on what option you are going to select, whether expand the selection or proceed with the current selection. Why? It's because we have already selected the entire table. Okay, we have already expanded our selection. So as you can see, meat. So all the data goes along with the meat department. From this row, the meat department, this one particularly transferred here, and as you can see, all the rest of its data have also followed the um, meat department. Okay. Next step is tables make things a lot easier. So basically, a table gives you special features and convenience. Why? It's because if your data is organized in this manner, you can easily track the data or values which is inputted on that particular variable you have. For instance, you have this variable department, and one of that is produce. Then under produce, you have the category for veggies. You also have category for fruits. Okay. So what are we going to do here is click inside the data to the right and then click insert. Okay. Say for instance, we click this data, try to select everything inside and hit insert table. So let's try to add 5,000 here, hit enter. And as you can see, the selection expanded the row for, or I mean the column for the months. So it added January. If we again add another data here, for example 10,000, hit enter, it will add another month, which is February. Okay, so that's it. Next step is drop downs. So drop down basically is that if you will click an arrow, small arrow here, it will drop down the list of, say for example, the foods like say apples, beef, bananas. So what are we going to do to create a drop down? Now, by the way, we want only 3 department names to be valid entries for each of the foods on the right. So each of the food in the right should only be categorized into 3 departments. Those departments are produce, meat, and bakery. Click and drag to select the yellow cells under department. So we click this one and we drag down all the cells. On the data tab, we head to the data tab. If we click this tab here, just locate data validation. So this one here is the data validation. Just click this small button here and proceed with data validation. So under allow, this is allow, just click list. So list, again under allow, click on list. And what's next? In the source box, this is the source box, type produce, meat, and bakery. Okay, we just type produce, separate it with a comma, meat, and bakery. By the way, make sure to put commas, no, again, in between them, then click OK. Okay, so now click the yellow cell. This yellow cell here, wala siya ingon ani a while ago. So we added this one. This is what we call drop down. Basically, it will show the list of what we have um, encoded or typed into as a source list, no? So you have the three encoded departments. We have produce, meat, and bakery. So we can select produce for that. So basically, you don't anymore need to somehow type in those words, no? Just click the drop down and show you the list. Okay. So by the way, this is not produce. This is meat. So let's proceed with the next step. We are now in step 8. Analyze data quickly. So here's how to analyze data so that you can spot patterns and trends quickly. So we can somehow see the trend whether we have an uptrend or a downtrend. So let's start with this step 1. Click and drag to all cells on the right. This button here will appear, this one, the quick analysis button will appear on the lower right corner. Now click data bars. Click this one first, then select data bars. So the cells under October, November, and December columns get special data bars. So as you can see, you have the blue bars. So it visualizes their amounts. Let's say you want to get rid of the bars. And again, click this one, data analysis button, and click the format button. So we click the format button, one, and it erases all the data bars. Now, what's good with that visualization is that you can be able to track you can easily compare the amount or the values that you have entered based on the previous months. Step is that we we create charts out of this data here. So charts are helpful in presenting different types of data to different types of people. Okay, so what we are going to do here, number one, click anywhere in the data to the right and then click insert. So let's highlight everything here in this table. So we click insert in this tab here, insert tab, then recommended charts. So this is the recommended charts. Click here. You'll see several recommendations. So you have this one, you have the line, the clustered column, the scatter graph, you have the stack area, you also have the conference attendance, chart funnel, and Pareto. Feel free to move it anywhere you'd like now. So you can select different types of recommended charts for that particular data. Now, why did we um, click on recommended charts? It's because different charts is only useful to now each type of chart is useful to a particular type of data. No data or not all data can be somehow created or can be somehow matched to a generic type of chart. Now you'll add a trend line, select the chart in the chart tools tab, will appear at the top of the Excel window. Say for example this one, this scatter graph na lang. And hit OK. So it will give you the chart based on the data provided. So we have the year 2016 to 2022. In the data here, you only have 2016 to 2021, but the chart is presenting from 2015 to 2022. So that's a default setting in Excel. We're in because I think it's best also to show the prior years, no, or the succeeding year. Click design. So this is design. So this is the chart design. And then click add chart element. So we can click this one. So it will show different elements in that particular chart. If you want to change a particular element, so you have this list here, and we select trend line. So after we select trend line, you have different options here. Just select linear. So that's linear. As you can see, you have a broken line that um, somehow passes through the different dots, which indicates a trend. So you have this lower trend here and you have this upper trend. Thus, we can justify that the data in conference attendance is on uptrend, meaning though there is a particular year where the number of attendees declined, but it does not greatly affect the whole trend since the the succeeding year 2020 have gained more attendees than the previous year. Okay. And the 2021 year have gained more attendees than the previous year as well. So it presents an uptrend. Okay, so shows the general direction of the units sold over time. So that's the meaning of this broken line here. Okay, so the last step that we have is this pivot tables. So what are we going to do? Step one, look at the date, the salesperson, the product, and amount columns. So this is the date, and this is the salesperson, the product, and amount column. Now, can you quickly identify which product is most profitable or which salesperson is leading the seller? So, for us to be able to quickly identify which product is most profitable or which salesperson is leading the seller, we can use the pivot table below this one to help us identify the most profitable product and the leading seller. Okay, so now when we created the pivot table, we click a few buttons so that the data could be summarized. Now we know which product is most profitable based on this, because we only have three products. Okay, so we have the beer, soda, and wine. As you can see, we have the grand total of $5,950, and based on the sum of amounts, we using the pivot table, basically it just summed all the amounts under, say for example, beer. So we have two beer products here, sum that all, and you have the sum of amount, which is $2,150. Okay, now You'll pivot the data so that you can find out which salesperson is leading the seller. So this time we need to pivot the data so that we can see who's leading. Okay, the seller, who's leading among all of the salesperson. So right click any cell inside the pivot table, any cell, for example this one, and then click show field. After you have selected this one, it will automatically show this pane here, the show field list pane. Okay, now what's next? At the bottom of the pane, under the rows, this is rows, this is the filters, columns and values. So delete as a rows, product, and then click remove field. So we click product and we click remove field. Okay, so what you are seeing now is that no products being presented here. Now at the top of the pane, click the checkbox for salesperson. So we click this checkbox. We have different checkbox, okay? We have the date, salesperson, and product. So click on salesperson. Now you can see who's leading the salesperson. So let's try to close this one by clicking the X mark. And as you can see, we have Anne as the leading seller. Okay, it's followed by Maria, Mark, then Laura. That's it, no, for the different steps in the basics of Microsoft Excel. So if you have more questions about Excel, you can ask me. If I cannot be able to find answer to that query, you have the help section here. This is the help button. Just click this here. So for you to get help from Microsoft. So that's it for our discussion this morning. I hope this video lecture can provide you with great assistance on how to accomplish the task which I have given to you. And by the way, you can send your accomplished Excel file. By the way, you need to save this by clicking this one, save Control S, or you want to save it as another name, or you want to rename, no? Because I instructed you to rename the file. So save as, then click in your PC, then enter the file name here. And by the way, you can select where you want to save it. Just click here. That's it, and have a good day.